So I was watching Swipes the other day, the new movie about Whitney Wolf, the founder of Bumble, when I saw this scene and I want to talk about it.
Listen, when I was a freshman, I was the only girl in my computer science class. And I remember one day I walked in and there was this giant photo of a naked woman on the projector. And at first I thought, they're playing some kind of prank on me, obviously. But it turned out the professor had projected the photo. Wow. It was Lena Forsett in 1972, Playboy centerfold. It just happens to be the first image ever digitally transferred. It wasn't some kind of joke. It was a lesson.
The image they were referring to is this image of Lenna Forsett, or the Lenna Image as it is more colloquially known in the computer science world. In 1972, Lenna was the centerfold for the November issue of Playboy magazine. A few months later, researchers in the signal processing unit of the University of Southern California were looking for new test images to test their compression algorithm on. And what they landed on was that centerfold spread. They tore off the top half of the photo, so it was just her shoulders and her face, scanned it, and in that moment, they created the test image that would dominate as industry standard for decades. And Lenna became almost a mythical figure in computer science. Many expressed that they didn't even realize that she was a real person. She was coined First Lady of the Internet, but not for any scientific contribution, but for being a beautiful, young, sexy face that the men working on these algorithms could look at. That is the stereotype that this image embodies. There has been pushback against the use of this image in the last 20 years or so. Some journals have banned the use of the Lenna image in their publications. I think Nature was the first to do this in 2018, but most recently, IEEE, which is a very prominent journal in computer science, stated that it will also not be permitting the use of the Lenna image anymore in any of its publications. It's a good step, but we still have a bit to go. And this leads me on to why I'm making this video. One is simply for awareness. From accounts I've been reading online, it seems that there are still teachers and professors who are using this image as an example in class for their students to actively work with. And I'm not saying we don't talk about this image. I'm not saying we erase history or anything of the sort. I think we should talk about it, but we should talk about it for what it was. It was sexist. Lenna herself has actually called for this image to be retired, stating, "I retired from modeling a long time ago. It's time that I retire from tech too." And the truth is, we will never know how many women were deterred from pursuing careers in computer science because of this. And the second, and I think main reason that I'm making this video is because we are now living in a world where tech and AI are accelerating faster than ever before. The non-consensual use of images has become an increasingly concerning issue. With the rise of deepfakes and AI-generated content, we need to be especially vigilant about how images are used. The Lenna image represents an early example of using a woman's likeness without proper consent, and today we're seeing the consequences of this mindset at a much larger scale. And I guess that's just my 2 cents on the matter for now. I'm going to leave some references that I was reading up on in the comments below. I highly recommend you check them out. Bye.